Hello again, everybody. It's Patrick. It's after work. It's 4:10 on a Friday night, and my work week is done. It's been a busy week. Got some really good feedback today from some of my coworkers. I had some difficult situations, and I got a lot of encouragement and validation from some of my nursing heroes that I'm lucky to share a cubicle space with. And I would be looking forward to having a nice relaxing week off, but I just have too much work to do. Tonight I'm going to be doing that final assessment video with somebody else who shares the same name as me, so that should be kind of humorous for that reason. And until then, he's going to be free at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to be studying until he's ready, because I have to get like a 76 on this to pass the class, and I want to make sure I get as high a grade as possible. And then once that is done, there's the 2 papers to write, and then back to the work week tomorrow. I mean Monday, not tomorrow, Monday. Back to the work week Monday. The papers are due on Tuesday, so that should be good. Oh, actually, there was an extension. The religious studies paper is due on Friday instead of Tuesday, but the actual, service that I'm going to attend to do the project on is on Sunday, so excuse me, I have to do that Sunday anyway. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me. I'm really looking forward to next week, because I won't have any schoolwork, and I'll be able to just relax for a little while, so that'll be nice. I'm kind of doing my good deed for the day today. I'm dropping off a inflatable air mattress for one of my patients. I've been promising an inflatable not an air mattress, an air cushion, like an inflatable seat cushion. I've been promising it for a while, but then it got lost in the mail, and there was all this other stuff, so the person lives really close to my own home, so I'm just going to swing by and drop it off, and that'll be my good deed for the day. The last couple of days I've been roped into things that had me, at the bedside until 7 o'clock at night, which was not supposed to happen. I'm definitely not going to stick around. I'm just going to drop the stuff off and make sure everybody's okay and then leave. I got to see one of my favorite social workers today, who's still working with us per diem. She used to be the bereavement coordinator, but then she left to go do some other opportunity. And it was nice to see her around the office. Got to shake her hand. She was one of my heroes, because when I was in nursing school, she gave a 45-minute lecture on hospice, and she was the only non-nurse guest speaker that we had, and she was a brilliant public speaker. Spoke completely extemporaneously, no slideshows or anything, just got up on stage and just rocked out for a good 45 minutes. So it was good to see her again. I didn't have, I wasn't able to talk to her for very long, but it was kind of like at the end of the day, and we're all like running around and doing stuff. And, just as I was about to leave the office today, an emergency came up. And after like all of the stressful stuff that I've been through like for the last few days, it just felt really nice to know that somebody else was going to go out there and take care of it. That sometimes you have to leave things off to the next shift and maintain those boundaries just for the sake of our own sanity. So it's nice to know I got that kind of support. Got some really great nurses that I'm working with. I'm kind of learning more and more about the tangled mess of insurance stuff lately. It seems like there's so much about benefits and coverage and stuff that I just don't even know. I don't know, it's kind of too complicated to even go into without talking about like specific cases or personal details or whatever, but there's just lots of different kinds of insurance, and they all cover different things, and they all require me to do different amounts and types of documentation, and it's stuff I have to go ask other people for advice on a lot of the time, because it's not always clear to me like what's available, what will be covered, what has to be done, what kind of paperwork needs to be filled out. It's just a confusing, tangled mess, really. So I appreciate having some help with that. there's some really weird contrails up in the sky right now. It's like one that almost looks like a helix, like a double helix. It's weird. Oh, the beard's coming along nicely, I think. It's getting there. Gotta look ridiculous with a mustache. I think I'll try to grow it out for the winter. I'll shave it off when it gets warm again. I've been so busy with work and school lately, I've been backlogged on video games. Got a couple of video games I haven't gotten a chance to delve into yet. But I think it's going to have to wait until after finals. Got like a to-do list of like games to play. I'm not going to turn this into a video game review vlog, so I'm not even going to get into that. But you know, like weeks like this really make me want to just not do anything for a few days and just veg out for a little while. But I don't have that luxury this weekend. But at least writing a paper is not like physically taxing. At least I won't be like running around and straining my back and doing weird stuff. I'll just be kind of reclining and probably eating cashew nuts and writing a couple of ridiculous papers. I actually got out of work. I actually got to work really early today. I usually have a hard time getting in on time, so I'll kind of, you know, work's supposed to start at 8, and I'll kind of walk in at like 8:10, 8:15 most days. But you can't really call any patients until 8:30 or so. And the pharmacy doesn't open until 8:30, so I'm not like really missing out on anything by that first 15 minutes. But today I started my morning with an argument with somebody on a cell phone, and that really woke me up. And I won't say what the argument was about, but I jumped out of bed, got showered, put clothes on, and I showed up at the office 10 minutes early, like at 7:50. So I guess that's the secret. I guess that's the key to getting to work on time, is to have somebody call me at 7 o'clock in the morning, wake me up, and start an argument with me. And that sounds like the best way for me to start my day, I guess. So I was feeling pretty crummy in the morning, like when I was getting started, but as the day went on, I had some good visits, some good patient encounters, and started to feel a little more stable, like I knew what I was doing. Thanks in no small part to the counsel and the wisdom and the compassion of my coworkers, who, as I just mentioned a few moments ago, are astounding nurses. So for this assessment video, it's going to be everything in the last two videos, plus one more group of assessments. The first video was head, ears, eyes, nose, throat, and mouth, and you know, like neck and regional lymphatics and stuff. And then the second one, and out of that first one, I got like a 92, even though I messed up the Weber and Rhine tests with the tuning fork. Because the textbook, this is what really gets my goat. I kind of threw the gauntlet down on the message board because I lost points for not doing it correctly. So I wanted to look it up and make sure I did it correctly for this one. So I look up the tuning fork hearing tests in the book, and all that there is in the book about them is a little paragraph explaining that the tests are not sensitive enough for general screening and should not be used. So I can only imagine that on some previous version of the textbook, it was in use, and in this new one that I have, because there's two different versions of the textbook that the students in the class have, in the typically disorganized style of the school, apparently. You know, our textbooks weren't even available for the first week of class because they didn't like get enough of them or something stupid like that. So I put a message on the, you know, the Ask the Instructor forum on the class website, and I just, you know, said, well, this is the paragraph that's in the book. Is it possible that the inclusion in the exam was because it was from an older version of the textbook? You know, I tried to make it as neutrally worded as possible, but I'm famously bad at that, so we'll see how it's taken. Maybe it was a mistake to do that before actually getting my final exam graded. But on the second exam video, it was the chest and the abdomen, and I didn't really prepare for that as well as I should have, and I ended up getting like a 70-something on it. Now for the final exam, which includes the first 2 videos and the musculoskeletal and neurologic systems, I have to get a 76 on the whole thing in order to pass the class. Because supposedly, if you get below a 76 on the final, you can't get higher than a 76 in the class as a whole. Now, looking at the grading tool breakdowns, that's not reflected in the weights that are actually listed on the website. You know, every assignment is weighted the same in the actual courseware, but then as has been demonstrated to me multiple times, the teachers don't actually know how to use the courseware or configure it or anything. So I'll just have to take the teacher at her word. And that's actually a change from before, because a few weeks ago she said you needed an 80 or higher to pass the class on the final, you know, exam. So I know how to do those 2 tests now, and that's fine. But I think it's kind of silly that we're, you know, being graded on doing an assessment that the textbook says should not be used. You know, so that's kind of dumb. But yeah, it's going to be, you know, the eyes and looking through the otoscope, and the ears, the ophthalmoscope rather, and the ears and looking through the otoscope, and the mouth and the tonsils and the nose, and those little things. What are those called? It's not the tuberculars. What are they? It starts with a T. Those little things in the nose, you know. I forget what they're called. I should look that up. And then what else? Like, you know, some neurological stuff, like the tongue and the shrugging and saying ah and doing all that. Thankfully, I don't have to check for inguinal hernias. That would be bad. No, I don't have to do that. They told me, she told me I could defer the femoral pulse and the inguinal lymph nodes. So that's nice. But I gotta percuss the chest anteriorly and posteriorly. I gotta, you know, palpate the kidney and the liver and the spleen, which I should not be able to palpate if the person is not ill. And you know, all the usual stuff: blood pressure, temperature, bowel sounds, and all that good stuff. Gotta look at the walking and the range of motion. Oh, I have to look for my reflex hammer, because deep tendon reflexes are part of this assessment. And a couple of these things I'm probably just going to want to practice. Just do a dry run before we get started. I gotta remember to get opaque index cards for the visual confrontation test and stuff like that. And I have to get a dry erase marker, so I can mark up his skin. I've got the ruler. I forgot to get the lemon swab sticks, but the testing protocol doesn't require doing the cranial nerve assessments that require taste to be tested, so that's fine. The reflex hammer, I've got the tape measure, I've got the blood pressure cuff, my stethoscope. I think I've got everything. I'm pretty sure I got all the stuff that I need. Just drove past my house there. I'm still on my way to do my good deed for the day. You know, it's not too bad in a commute. It's only like a 12-minute commute. It's not too bad. I just got some kind of offer on LinkedIn for a nursing supervisor position in Hamden. Well, yeah, like I'm going to drive all the way to Hamden. I don't even know where Hamden is. And I feel pretty settled in at this current job. I mean, I really like the agency and the people that I'm working with, and you know, at least until I get my master's degree, I think this is where I would want to stay. As long as I can. I have a bad habit of overstaying my welcome, but as long as they'll have me, and then reassess when I get my master's. Well, I'm starting to get close to the neighborhood where the patient lives, so I'm going to shut off the camera before I get to anything too close. Yeah, it was nice venting at you again, and I'll catch up with you guys after the weekend when I've had all my homework done and all that good stuff. But until then, I'll see you.